Are we live? We are live. Boom.
Hello.
Hey, Brenda. Hey, Josh. How's it going? We've got a really talkative cat, so you might hear her in the background.
She won't shut up. I've been yelling at her all day.
Yeah.
Which is probably why she won't shut up.
Yeah.
It's out of spite.
Yeah. I know.
I have a hate relationship with our cats.
Hate.
Hate.
I would say it's hate for sure. Hold on. You can talk. Let me try and grab
her. Put her downstairs and shut the door. Everybody having a good week so far? Feeling okay. I feel fine. I never got sick, which is shocking. I'm the one that probably should get sick.
Yeah.
Anybody else lose audio?
Is there audio? Oh no. How's sound on here? I might have to do that. How's audio now? Is that working? Can I get a thumbs up if it's on? Looks like it's on. Maybe.
All
awesome.
Right, cool.
Yay.
We're good.
Thanks, Brenda.
But yeah, I think everybody's okay. She still has a lingering cough.
Yeah.
We're both of us are her parents.
Yeah.
Our oldest daughter, she's back at school. She's back in college. She only missed one day of class, I think. So she was good.
Yeah.
And then our youngest and I we never got sick. We stuck it out in the basement for a little over 3 weeks. We were down there because her and Issa got it kind of back to back, got COVID back to back. And so, yeah, it was an endless basement dwelling for us.
Josh, I set the slow-mo just so that it's easier to catch any trolls that pop in. I don't expect any, but you never know. Gotta play it safe. Arizona Highland Homestead. Yeah, I imagine I'm going to have that cough linger for a while. Hey, there's Terry. That's my friend Terry that her and her husband spent time in South Korea.
Okay.
From the military. So that's our little Korean greeting. Terry's awesome. He teases me about me speaking Korean. Actually, Issa does more so than you do, but yeah.
I won't tease you.
But yeah. Thanks for popping in, guys. We weren't quite sure who'd show up. It's just kind of random. We decided to do a live this week, and we were trying to decide which day would work better for us. And tomorrow we have some plans to spend in town with Issa and getting some tacos. And so, yeah, so we're going to kind of have a family evening together. And so this is kind of the day that worked the best for us. So, yeah. Teach you a Korean word. I don't know. I think Terry speaks more Korean than I do.
I was about to say, maybe she's the wrong one.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, how's it going? How are things overseas? No, our oldest daughter that's in college now, she wants to study in South Korea. And so is she taking Korean right now, or is it next semester?
She's had two semesters of Korean cultural studies, and then she's going to start the Korean language next year. So
yeah, so she knows more Korean than any of us, but yeah. So I'm trying to pick up a little bit here and there because right now the plan is to go visit her when she's studying abroad, because she wants to spend a whole year there. So we'd like to visit her when she's there.
Enjoy Blessed Life.
Yeah.
Hey there.
They're in Gatlinburg, or
Okay.
in that Pigeon Forge area.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's a really, really good knife maker in Pigeon Forge
Mm-hmm.
area who he's got his own shop, and I mean he does great work,
Mm-hmm.
but people stop in. I think it's kind of a touristy area. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost like he's a resident blacksmith for some sort of an attraction there. But
hey, Teresa. Teresa's from Stringfield Ridge Farm. They're one of the hosts of the picnic in Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I got to meet her.
I'm sorry I don't know anyone.
Yeah, he's kind of doing a little bit more with the channel, and so he's just getting to meet some of you and see some of the names on here. So so I'm kind of trying to help him through what some of these folks' names are, who some of you guys are. So yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Gatlinburg one time. It is definitely a tourist town.
Yeah, it is, but it's beautiful there.
Yeah.
Hola, Jan. So Simply Jan is down in the Ozarks.
Okay.
And so I think she's going to be popping up actually to pick up the stove.
Okay.
For Ed.
So. I love the Ozarks. It's such a whenever I drive down to do a knife class or tend to hammer in down in Arkansas or
Hola, Jovita.
Or Texas, it's a great
Bienvenida,
drive.
amiga. Hey, Naked Gardeners. Is this Sid or Tori?
Or both.
Or both.
Could be both.
Matt asks about you guys, and I'm like, because he asks who I'm chatting with most of the time, and it's usually Tori, but yeah. We'd love to see you guys again. They're going to do goats for meat, and I wanted to go down there when they butcher the goats so that we can make birria.
I've heard goat is
delicious,
just outstanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
even better than like lamb.
Yeah. Paul's asking if that was Spanish. Yes, Paul. I'm bilingual, so I obviously, like, if you watch any of our videos, usually my opening is in Spanish or has a little bit of Spanish in there, what I like to call Spanglish. But yeah. So I think it was Arizona Highland Homestead, right, that was asking about speaking Korean. So the greeting that usually MT Homestead or Terry from MT Homestead and I have is annyeong, which is just a shortened version of saying hello in Korean. It's usually annyeonghaseyo. And so you just say annyeong. So you'll usually see us in the chats saying annyeong chingu. Chingu is friend, so it's basically saying hello, friend. There's Tiny Tim Posey. How's it going, man? I didn't see if it was Sid or Tori. I might have missed that. Jovita. So Terry's husband yesterday was saying, "Hola." He says, "Ocho cinco." We got a good laugh about that.
It doesn't even mean 85.
It doesn't mean 85. That's what we were telling him yesterday in the chat. It just means 85.
85.
Yep. Oh, it's both of you guys. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are here. You guys are awesome. I really enjoyed meeting you guys and having you up here. Would love to hang out with you guys again. We really did enjoy hanging out with you guys. Jan, yes, I got your email. I need to give you a call tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, it's been a long week for me. It's my first week back at work after being out for like a month. So
yeah,
I'm tired. I have a lingering cough and I'm tired. And I took a short little nap when I got home today, and so I might look a little sleepy right now.
She's been napping every day.
Yeah. Just trying to get my rest and go to bed fairly early too. So, but yeah, just trying to make sure I get my rest and drinking lots of fluids and, trying to stay healthy.
Yeah. COVID really kicked their butt. It wasn't a fun time. Carmen and I had my youngest, Carmen.
Your youngest?
Our youngest. We're both her parents.
Yeah.
Like I said, we had to live in the basement. We had a TV and we had computers, but we had no way of eating. So we had to go to the store and pick up a microwave and some lunch, frozen dinners and survived on that garbage for about 3 weeks. Was so happy to come up out of the dungeon and actually eat good food.
Yeah, I've actually, after my naps, I'll actually try and cook dinner. So tonight's the first night I haven't really cooked. I think we're going to just grab something out, and who knows? I mean, it's been kind of nice, so getting back in the kitchen and cooking for Matt and Carmen. So
yeah,
and we've eaten good food, so it's been kind of nice.
There are some great people.
Yeah, there's some wonderful people here. I really appreciate this community. It's so supportive, and these folks are just great.
One even speaks 4 languages.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, he's out in Belgium.
Okay.
I think that's where he's out in Belgium. He'd love to come back out or come out to the States sometime. Obviously, with COVID, it's kind of difficult. But yeah, he actually wanted to come out to HOA, but yeah, he was just not working.
The chair of the computer science department when I was in college is from Belgium.
Yeah.
And he was evil.
Holland. He's in Holland. Sorry. Yeah. I know he speaks Dutch, but I wasn't. You're right. They do speak Dutch in Holland. It's like trying to figure out
yeah.
What other
languages. No, he was evil. He was.
Yeah, he worked you guys a lot.
Oh man,
a lot of homework.
To the bone.
Hey, Shelly, how's it going? That's Shelly, Healthy Homestead chick.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Heather Hopper, how's it going?
You been cutting anything with that knife of yours, Shelly?
That's an awfully nice knife. He came and showed me his forearm.
Yeah, I'm missing a lot of patches of hair.
Apparently, that's how knife makers test the sharpness of their knives. They shave the hair on their arms.
It's one way. Yep.
Yeah, one way. Yep.
I've got to. I just got started. Don's not on here, but
no,
just got started on a knife for him. I told him I would make one for him a while back, and and he said, "Well, if you want to experiment a little bit and have fun with it, go ahead and do that." So
yeah. So
I've been playing around with.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we saw that too. Tickets for HOA are on sale.
Yeah.
They just went on sale. Was it yesterday they went on sale?
Just yesterday.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to attend. Actually, all 4 of us. We're hoping all 4 of us can attend this year.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. I'm excited just that Matt was going to come along, but I texted Issa last night as soon as I saw that the tickets were on sale, just to make sure, she's in college and she's kind of got her own thing going on, and I didn't want to impose on her. And so I asked her if she wanted to come to HOA, and she was like, yes, I want to come. Hey, there's Mr. MT Homestead. Hola, 85. That's going to be my new greeting for Mike. Mike. So Mike and Terry, and I'll tell you again. So Mike's a veteran. He's served in the military. And they're the ones that bought their house with my company.
Okay, yeah.
With the company I work for. So that's pretty awesome. Hey, if you guys know Mike and Terry, we're my company is actively seeking out influencers, social media influencers. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that, and I can go ahead and put a bug in somebody's ear since you guys actually are customers of ours. So yeah, let me know.
Hey, Rebecca, sorry to hear that. That's too bad.
Where? Oh, I see. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Rebecca. Rebecca's actually in Columbia, or just north
okay.
of Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, we were trying to coordinate a time to go have coffee sometime, but I ended up getting COVID, and so it's just kind of put a delayed that. But when you get back, we'll try and get together and go get some coffee and just chat. Pathways Homestead, how are you guys doing? How are you doing, Cindy?
I'm still getting caught up.
Oh, okay. Well, Cindy and Gary, I met them. They're from Pathways Homestead. They're out in Kansas.
Okay.
Met them in Pryor, Oklahoma. Sweet folks. Actually got to meet them over at Rusty and Rachel's house first.
So what kind of milk are you working on right now? Are you talking cow's milk, goat's milk?
I believe it's cow's milk.
Cow's milk?
They have cattle. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
Oh, that's awesome, Terry. All right. Well, I'll let our social media team know. Yeah.
Our social media team?
At my office. Dang it. I see them every day. So I'll go let them know. But yeah, that's so cool. Terry, you're going to love this. I'm taking Issa out to lunch tomorrow, and we're going to go get Korean food. So I'm really excited. I haven't decided what I want to get yet, whether we're going to do tteokbokki. We might do tteokbokki just as our appetizer, but I think we're going to do, or I'm going to do the dulcet bibimbap. It's so good. That's like one of my favorite things.
Jersey cow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Gary and Cindy are the ones that brought the lengua to Rusty and Rachel's house.
Yum.
Yeah, and that was really good. Actually, the farm that we buy our beef from, they have lengua. They have tongue.
Yes, they do.
Tongue.
They sure do.
I thought about getting some the next time we order, because I think you would really, really like it. Make some tacos.
So we got the Coop out of the shop.
We did get the Coop out of the shop.
It's awesome. There's so much room in there right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, show of hands, whoever saw the video, our latest video, when we took the Coop out finally. Hands up, whoever saw the video and saw me fall on my butt. I swear, I don't think I've heard you laugh that loud in a long, long time.
From my vantage point, it was pretty funny. And it happened. So here's the thing about where I was. I was sitting in the truck, and I just before I pulled away, I happened to look out the window behind me. And that's when everything happened. And it was like slow motion. She fell, which at first I was a little worried she might have twisted her knee, but she fell, and then her foot went up and a chunk of snow, and it was like slow motion.
Yeah.
A chunk of snow, it was like it was laser guided. Just right on the side of her face. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was funny because you could see me put my hand down because I almost caught myself, but then my hand slipped. And so I was just like, well, I'm going down. So just kind of go with the flow. But yeah. I think that's probably why I didn't really get hurt, because once you go down, like there's nothing you can do about it except just relax.
True.
Just go with the flow. Oh yeah. Yeah, Terry was like, you should have just made a snow angel, like it was on purpose.
Did you?
Yes. Yes and no.
Yeah, I missed. So yeah, that's right. Yes and no. I missed it on the first try.
Yeah.
So I blew by the snow angel a little too far, and the back corner of the coop, which should have been on my head, on the snow angel's head, was a little to the left, but the front was okay. So that's what you see, that the very last little pull on the back of the coop is what got everything straightened out.
Yeah, it's almost to the spot that it needs to be.
Yeah, we're gonna send the drone up probably this weekend and see how it looks and make sure it's square to the garden.
Yeah, we've got to go out and put markers because we're going to completely redo the garden area. And so we need to mark out all of the places that we're going to put in posts for fencing that's going to go up hopefully, I don't know, maybe later this year or maybe early next year.
For what?
The fence for the garden.
I'm hoping not too much longer. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
And we've got one in college, and so funds are tight when we try and do new projects.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna do a run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'd like to do a video kind of sharing the master plan for the garden. So the garden area is a pretty large area. What is, I think the area that I want to use is about 40 by 50 feet.
Yeah, it's probably huge. About 60 feet long now. Or that's how long it was when we got here.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to shorten. She wants to shorten it. We don't need that much garden because we're going to do raised beds.
Yeah.
And
I also shortened it because we have that pecan tree, so I wanted to give that pecan tree just a little bit more space to grow. Especially if we're putting in posting for fence. So we'll be going down a good 2 feet for the 2 or 3 feet for the posts. So all of that area is going to be fenced in. We're going to have an actual fixed run that we're going to build similarly to what we have now for the chicken coop, the small chicken coop. That thing's built like Fort Knox. I don't ever worry about the chickens or any predators getting into that run or the coop. And so I'm wanting to build something similar for the ducks and the chickens. So one of the next building projects is a new duck pen. And that's going to go right next to the new coop. So we're going to have the ducks and the chickens in a run together, but they're going to be separated. And so now that we have some drakes and we have Franklin, the rooster, I wanted to kind of keep them separate, but still in the same area so that it's easy for me to get food and water to them. And then the entire area, I've kind of laid out how I want it all done. And so it's going to just make it easier for me to go out there, check on all the plants that I'm growing, plant new stuff, get a compost system set up just next to that area so I can easily get all of the pine shavings and the poop out of the coops and into the new compost system. We'll have a new dedicated area for the strawberries as well. We're going to have a cool little tunnel entryway where we can grow all of the vining. Well, I can grow all of the vining things, cucumbers, loofahs, things like that. Have a little herb area for all the perennial herbs. And then a couple of the beds are going to be perennial beds, and one of them is going to be a really long asparagus bed. And so the rest of them are going to be just for annual vegetables and things like that. So it's just going to be a nicer area that's going to be easier for me to maintain. Since it is just me really that takes care of the chickens and the ducks and grows food. That's not Matt's thing. Like, that's not what he gets excited about. Like, he enjoys the stuff that I bring in from the garden, but
I'll be more involved, I think, this year than I have been, for sure.
But yeah, like, all of it's just going to be in a nicer area. I'd love to be able to put them out on a tractor. It's just too much work for me right now. I actually like the flexibility of having the fixed run, because if we've got things going on, if we've got to go to town for anything for Isa, or we go on vacation, it's just easier to have that area set up for them, that I really don't have to worry about them.
Yeah. We're going to try and set up a rain capture system.
Yeah, that too.
To water them. So, and we already have some, and you've seen them, I'm sure, in our videos, but we also already have some feed systems set up for both the ducks and the chickens in case we're out of town for a few days.
Yep. Yeah, I think the rain catchment's going to be probably a big game changer, at least for me. Bye, Shelly. Thanks so much for being here.
Favorite meat for tamales?
I know Matt has his opinions.
Well, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, pork with red Chile sauce with some heat is an 11.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, chicken with the green sauce with a little heat is probably a 9. You take the heat away, you might as well be in the 5s.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do like the pork with the red chile, those are just a very traditional tamal, and they're just like they're just the best.
Yeah.
But one of my new favorites is the chicken with roasted poblanos, and I add queso fresco to it and tomatillo salsa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good.
And they are delicious. But pork for sure is our favorite. But the chicken with the roasted poblanos are right behind that. Yeah.
Making me hungry.
They're so good. Yeah.
I want some tamales now.
I know. Jovita, I do too. Queso fresco is the best cheese ever.
It's a staple in our house.
It is a staple in our house. If you look in our fridge,
I can go you queso fresco in our refrigerator right now.
If you ever, at any given moment, if you look in our fridge, there's always tortillas de maíz, which is just corn tortillas, and queso fresco. Those are the two things that are always in our fridge. And in our pantry, there's always enchilada sauce, because enchilada sauce is just kind of my go-to. I'll make enchiladas with that. And like yesterday, I made chilaquiles using the enchilada sauce with some of our leftover pasture-raised chicken that I cooked the night before, and added some queso fresco on top of that. And oh my gosh, it's delicious. Jovita knows, because she's Mexican, so she knows chilaquiles are just amazing, delicious.
Yeah. It's basically, well, there's a couple of different toppings you can put on it. Sometimes if we forgot,
sorry, Christy,
if we forgot to take chicken out to defrost, we'll do scrambled eggs, and chilaquiles is just it's basically tortilla chips with enchilada sauce that's warmed in a pan. Yeah. And
with a little bit of oil.
With a little bit of oil and queso fresco on it, and then for us, we either do scrambled eggs or chicken. Yeah. And then yesterday I also had pico. I added pico de gallo to mine, and that was really good. But yeah. Yeah, he's actually asked me to cook more Mexican food here lately. Yeah, and I mean, there's a reason for that too. I can't have a lot of sugar. I mean, a lot of you know kind of my story. I've had health issues forever, for my whole life, and had to have a kidney transplant, and so the anti-rejection medication that I've been on for the last almost 25 years. 23 years. Yeah, it'll be 24 this year. Yeah. So for the last 23 years, eventually it interferes with your body's ability to make insulin, so it affects your pancreas. And so I've got to start eating more healthy. I've got to start eating less sugar. And Mexican food really is quite healthy. I mean, there's meat and
Darren, how's it going, brother? That's my friend Darren from Canada.
Hmm.
Oh, he's the one that I told him that you guys should get together and chat.
Okay. But the tortillas are not terribly unhealthy unless you use flour. Flour is not that great. But
yeah.
But then, and other than that, you have meat. You have avocados, which are a fantastic source of good fats.
And so good.
Yeah. Salsa, which is in our house, is basically tomatoes and jalapenos with a little bit of garlic and salt added. Yeah. So there's a lot of really healthy choices when it comes to Mexican food, for sure.
Yeah.
As long as you stay away from the
carbs.
The carbs and the fried foods.
And we don't do a lot of fried foods. We also don't eat flour tortillas, really. Mm-hmm. Usually we'll have them around just because I'm planning on making quesadillas with like leftover carnitas or something like that. But for the most part, I mean, it's just corn tortillas and then, whatever fillings I've made that day or for that week. But yeah. Brenda asked if I knew how to make green chile gravy with pork chunks for pouring over stuffed sopapillas. I do know how to make that. I haven't made it though. But we don't do sopapillas very much. I wonder if you're talking about sopes, because sopes are the little masa boats that are more savory. Sopapillas are kind of sweeter, almost like I think you're talking about sopes, and I love sopes. They're good. I made them, and you guys liked them. I don't make them very often because I make them with the masa that we use for tamales. So, but it's been a while since I've made the tamales here at home. Crazy Ed, how are you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. I was just talking to Jan about calling her about the wood stove. There she goes again. Yeah. Look at that! Everybody's saying hello to each other. This is so cool.
It's a good group.
Yeah, it's a good community. I know. I hear ya.
Our dog would go and eat her.
So Thorhaven Farm, that's my friend up in Canada. They got the Highland cattle, the Highland cows.
Something to throw at her.
No, we're good. That we want to get when we go to Idaho. So I know, baby. I know. You can go get her and love on her, and then we can.
She thinks I'm gonna.
So this is our cat. This is Frankie. She's the one that's being loud. Oh, now she doesn't want to be held. Yeah, Darren said, you see what he wrote? Rumor that we want Highlands.
We actually, where we get our mulch.
Hey, Dawn.
Where we get our mulch, about, I'd say it's about 25, 30 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
They have Highland cattle. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to him one day. It's not a nice cat. And I was talking to him one day about why he chose Highland cattle. And we went through a couple of different things. But the main thing is he likes the taste of Highland over everything else. It just seems to have a better natural taste than most other cattle. But he's been having trouble finding a meat processor.
Yeah. So Naked Gardeners were asking how much land we have again. We have 11 acres.
Yeah, about 11.
Mm-hmm.
We have about an acre and a half, maybe 2 acre pond.
Yeah, the pond is pretty big.
Yeah. And then the shop and the house take up some. So
yeah.
So workable area. I shouldn't say workable area, because I do like to have a yard.
Yeah.
But we have I'd say our back property is probably 5 acres. Would be my guess. And so so that's exactly right. Possible pasture area, in case we ever wanted to raise our own cow or something like that.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I've kind of tried to talk him into it. I was talking to the Max about it, because I know that they raise their cattle there, and so I actually had reached out to them about how many cattle would be practical for our space, and they said about 2 to 3. So making sure that we have a nice system to graze for them for us to be able to rotate them. But
but I think the cows are a little bit of a jump for us to go from chickens to cows, or chickens to cows is quite a deal. I mean, we don't have goats or pigs or anything along those lines yet.
No.
And the other thing is just,
hi, Patty.
The other thing is just the amount of not necessarily work, but just the inability to have a life.
Yeah.
as you add animals to your property. And so maybe for this particular property, we won't do cattle, but maybe if we ever end up selling this place and getting something different, maybe do it then.
If we ever, the plan is to sell this place. It'll be a while though before we do that, but right now, I mean, we've been talking about it. There's not really much that's keeping us here now that the girls are getting older. So
that's really interesting. I knew that Highland cattle was a very lean beef. But I did not know that it was the only one approved by the American Heart Association.
Yeah. Did you read what Thor said up there?
Yeah.
Or Darren? Yeah. Yeah, they butchered theirs themselves.
I've never seen a cow butchered in person. I have seen them put down before.
Yeah.
But sell and move to Texas.
No, I don't hate Texas, but it's not on our list of places to go to. I mean, it's a great place. They have really great food in Texas. But we've decided that we want mountains, and so there's nowhere in the middle of the U.S. that has mountains that we want to go to. We definitely don't want to go to Colorado.
No.
And as much as I liked Virginia and visiting Virginia, it's a beautiful, beautiful state. That's the other place that I thought maybe we could go to. But looking at the list of the states that are the least regulated, where you have the most freedom to do and build what you want, there was really only one state that kind of had all of that. And shockingly enough, Missouri's in the top 2 or 3 states that where you are really free. And so we won't take a step down from that. So and there's only one state that had all of those things and mountains. And so
So let's see. Yes, Arkansas. Hey, listen,
Arkansas is a beautiful state too.
I don't mind Arkansas.
It is gorgeous there.
Yeah, Arkansas is unfairly seen as a hick state, and that's not fair. It is a beautiful place with wonderful people, and it is a knife making mecca, which I love. There's so many good, talented, well-known knife makers in Arkansas that I would not mind being around.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
But the humidity.
Yeah.
Missouri's bad enough.
Yeah.
and we're probably being a little nitpicky, but yeah, I grew up in the the Missouri boot heel, and I remember how thick the air was. You could part it with your hands, and yeah, not.
Well, I've played ball in the South. I know.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It's not fun. So Patty from Southern Blessed Homestead actually, she pointed at one of those states is where we want to go, and that's Idaho. Iowa doesn't have any mountains. It's pretty flat there. I think all they grow there is corn. But yeah, Idaho is the state that we really want to move to.
And sadly, Missouri is turning into a corn state as well. When they enacted corn subsidies and started trying to move to ethanol several years ago, it changed the entire farming culture in Southeast Missouri. It used to be cotton and wheat and grain sorghum. We called it Milo. And rice, soybeans, that sort of thing. And now there's so much corn down there. It almost makes me mad.
Yeah. So Darren had a great question. He said, would you miss what you've built where you are? Or is the possibility of having a more positive thought?
That's a good question. And that actually probably brings us to something that we've been talking a lot about lately. And that's, what's the direction of our channel? What are we going to do with our property?
Well, not just like what's the direction of our channel, like what do we want to do?
Yeah.
Just as a couple.
Exactly. So what do we want to do with our property? What do we want to do with our home? What do we want to do with our garden? Are there things that we would like to build? Like, I have my heart set on building an outdoor kitchen between now and my youngest daughter's quinceañera. And so, those are the things we've really been discussing a lot. And we would probably miss what we have. I love Missouri. I grew up here. I've never really left except for college. And I love this state. But I've never lived an adventure. And I'm ready to live an adventure. And when I graduated college, I graduated high school, graduated college, and the whole time I knew that my biggest need in life for both myself and my family was going to be health insurance. Because I wasn't going to be able to get it any other way other than through an employer. And so that's been the basically the goal for me is to make sure that I can provide for my family and not put myself in a situation to where our medical bills would bankrupt us. Because that could very easily happen if I were self-employed or something like that. And we have the American Healthcare Act, which I think that's what it's called. Obamacare, if you want to call it that. But it's very expensive. It would be less than the type of insurance that I have now. And so I really want to live an adventure before I die. And I think that picking up and finding a new place with pretty raw land, building on it ourselves with our own two hands. I mean, that feels like an adventure, and it feels like it would be so much fun. So that's really the reason that we're entertaining these ideas. I mean, it's still early. Who knows what's going to happen? We're talking 5 years in the future, probably. But yeah, that's kind of been my thinking, and she's been
Mhm.
supportive of that. And so that was a really long roundabout way to answer why we would want to leave Missouri.
Yeah.
But that's it. And
Yeah.
when young people come to me and talk about leaving their comfort zones, I always encourage them to do it.
Yeah. Like our daughter, wants to study abroad in South Korea, like, across an ocean.
Yeah.
And we're like, go for it.
Yeah.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think living out an adventure at some point in your life is definitely important.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, living out an adventure that is pretty much planned out.
Well, it's not an adventure.
It's not an adventure. Yeah. And so that's the thing. I mean, just being in a position where everything can go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that just sounds like so much fun to me.
Yeah. So Ed also asked, for someone just starting out on a homestead, what is the easiest animal to raise to start with? Chickens.
Dogs.
Well, no, like like an actual useful animal.
Yes.
Chickens are the easiest thing ever.
Chickens are easy. Ducks are
pretty easy too.
Ducks are easy too.
But they're messy. Ducks are messy. Yeah. But their eggs are yummy. Their eggs are yummy too. But chickens are the easiest. I know some people argue and say that pigs are pretty easy, and I'm sure they are. But you also kind of need some infrastructure to be able to butcher them, to be able to butcher pigs, because they're so they're heavy.
Which, I mean,
chickens, you don't need that. I mean, you literally could just go out there with a knife and there's your dinner. It's. I mean, we don't do it that way, obviously, because we butcher a large number of birds at one time. But in terms of raising an animal that's going to provide some food, whether it be the actual meat itself or eggs, maybe, chickens are really easy. I've also heard rabbits are pretty easy. But rabbits hasn't been on my list of animals to raise, so I don't know. Yeah. All right, we've talked quite a bit. Sorry, we're behind on the chat. Sorry, guys. Darren's like, I better not waste all my questions before I have you on my live. Yeah, Matt, I was telling Matt, I was like, you guys probably get along really well talking about firearms, knives, living out in the wood, and Highland cattle, because Matt wants to learn more about Highland cattle. Yeah. Hey, you see what Tiny Tim Posey wrote?
Famous knife maker not to here in Arkansas. Who are you talking about? Are you saying you don't have any close to you, Tim? Or you do have one close by?
Yeah. Ashley from Mulberry Branch. I don't know if you have stuck around a little bit. If you make it on, if you on the chat a little bit longer, I picked up some Dunkaroos that I saw at the grocery store today, and thought of you. So I went ahead and picked it up to try them out. Matt was like, what the heck is that? Like, why do you have that with you? And
she walked in with the box, and I was finishing up dishes. I looked over and said, what'd you do? Go out and get your smokes?
Just my Dunkaroos. Oh, hey, Elders Homestead. Thanks for popping in. I hope we didn't miss you on before you left. Doing better with Mariah. Yeah, it does. It is the idea of taking an adventure, doing something, building something of our own. I don't know. I can't say that there's anything that I've wanted to do like that in a while.
Yeah.
And we're not getting any younger, so
speak for yourself. I'm an Adonis.
Yes, you are. Thanks, Jan. Yeah.
A forced adventure. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, she just sold her property. She sold her house. Her husband passed away not long ago. Sold her house, and she's living in an apartment now. She got an apartment. So Well, you can come out this way, Patty. We
Absolutely,
would love to
man.
have you out here because we're still going to be out here for a few more years. But yeah, we would love to have you out here. Thanks, Brenda. I appreciate that. She said that she would follow us on our adventures.
Starting an adventure at 65. What's your adventure, Christine? Or Christy, sorry.
Yeah, there's so many great people here doing really, really great things. And it's really been inspiring, at least for me, seeing everybody kind of, get out and do things that don't fit the mold.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Tim, I assume you're still on. So the knife makers that I've had,
thanks, Patty,
that I've learned from, the first one is a guy named J.R. Cook. J.R. is a fantastic knife maker. He has been named an Arkansas Living Treasure. He's a master bladesmith, and he was my very first instructor when it came to making knives.
Yeah.
Also Jim Kroll. I can't remember if Jim Kroll is out of Arkansas or not, but then the most and Jim Kroll is, well, I won't say too much about him. I love Jim, but and then but the one that I went and spent time with most recently, who had a great impact on me, was Lynn Ray, and it just really changed how I thought about knife making and blacksmithing and that sort of thing. So those are the main people that I know in Arkansas. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah. Well, Darren, I hope to hop in on that chat with you guys a little later. I might have Matt hop in and check it out and get to know you guys a little bit. I think I'm really excited about him coming out to HOA later this year, so he can meet a bunch of my friends here that are just amazing. I think he's going to enjoy that a lot.
So, Christy, where are you planning on? Are you moving anywhere close by, or are you moving far away from where you are now? Going into an off-grid cabin. That's really cool. That's really cool. I really like the idea of off-grid. But if I'm gonna be a knife maker in my retirement, that stuff requires a lot of electricity, some of that equipment. So we'll just have to see. I don't know.
Yep. So Cindy said that we'd be surprised how easy pigs are to butcher.
Well, from my understanding is that pigs
You're welcome, Ed.
is that pigs are basically really easy and not very. One of the things that people complain about is that they stink, and so I think that if you have enough space, you can avoid that.
Yeah.
At least that's my understanding.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah, Patty, I hope you do, Tinkerer's wife, I hope you do get to come out and spend some time with some folks. I know a lot of folks out here, east of you would love to have you over and just get to hang out with you and meet you and get big hugs. Oh, that's right. She's moving to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah. I like Tennessee. I don't like West Tennessee very much, but I like, certain parts of West Tennessee that I don't like.
That's where we met.
Yeah, we met in Tennessee.
In college.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the most beautiful state in the nation.
We were just talking about this. So Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And we've always just kind of treated it like a faux holiday. It's not really a holiday. And we just kind of have always been of the opinion that you shouldn't wait for one day to show your loved one how much you love them. You should do that every day and as often as possible. Mm-hmm. And so,
don't get us wrong. There are things that happen when the lights go out on Valentine's Day. But
I was actually thinking about it, and our first date ever was actually on Valentine's Day. And I was looking at the calendar and the year, and I was like, holy cow. This Valentine's Day is going to be the 25th anniversary of our first date.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I'm sure we'll probably do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but
eat.
Yeah.
Go get tacos.
Go get tacos.
Tim, yes. So I didn't want to say this, but I'll go ahead and say it about Jim Kroll. And that is, Jim Kroll is the most lovable asshole you'll meet.
Yeah, I think everybody in here are adults. So, yeah, so I think we're good.
No, I love Jim Kroll, but Jim Kroll is one of the most blunt people. He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
All right, thanks, Elders Homestead. We might pop in, although I know Darren's got his live too in a few minutes, so I'll probably actually go hang out over there. But thanks so much for stopping in. Thank you, Jan. Yeah. Tacos are a great date. Tacos are like the perfect food ever.
Yeah.
You know, you can have them for breakfast. You can have them for lunch and dinner.
You got your meat. You got your veggies. You got your cheese. You got your grains.
Yeah. And then you can even have dessert tacos. Like, it's just...
Choco tacos.
Choco tacos. Yeah, those were good. Teresa said they're going to be in Western Kentucky forever. They've been there all their lives and have 5 daughters and 4 grands there. That's awesome.
I do
like Kentucky. Kentucky is a pretty state.
I have friends and family in Western Kentucky. Yeah. I have a cousin who lives in Paducah.
Yeah.
And I believe one of my high school friends lives in Paducah also.
Bye, Brenda. Adios. Yeah. Hey, there's Hidden Oaks Homestead. How are you guys doing? Okay, so Hidden Oaks Homestead is here. Her husband, Chip. That's Chip and Nicole. They have. They were chatting yesterday in Ashley and Mark's live about doing a beard thing at HOA.
Not cutting it, right?
No, they want to. So they want to decorate beards.
Yeah, I'm not in.
Yeah, and they were talking about putting glitter on beards, and I was like,
no.
Well,
it's not happening.
Before you say that, I spoke up and I said, I can tell you right now, Matt will not be doing the glitter on his beard. Yep. So there's that. Hey, there's Two Chicks Homestead. How's it going? I think we only got like another minute or so.
Yeah. I think we're winding down.
And we're gonna get dinner. Or I think Matt's gonna run out and get us some dinner. I'm still beat. I'm tired. I'm gonna probably take another nap. Or just go to bed early.
Trash can waves, you shut your mouth.
Glitter beards are in. Well, I know I have a coworker who would totally do the glitter beard, but
you have
has
weird
done it
coworkers.
Before. Yeah. Well, we have fun coworkers. Adiós, Jovita. Igualmente, amiga. Buenas noches.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up, but I'm really curious. We just got a new internet provider.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious as to how this live went, if there were any jumps in the feed or freezes or anything like that.
If the picture is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would love to get some feedback on that. We're pretty excited about our new internet provider, and
we might do a video on it.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. it's just it's going to be a game changer for us at least. Matt works remotely right now, and so having a good internet connection is kind of a big deal for him. So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. No glitches. Okay, Jan. Thank you so much. Yeah. Patty, thanks, you guys. Yeah. Awesome. That's so cool to hear. Yeah, we've been kind of holding off on doing more regular lives because our internet's been kind of acting up as of late. But now that we have our new internet provider, I think we'll be able to do these more regularly. Yeah, we're excited because this is a great opportunity to get to connect with you guys and get to know you guys on, on a different level than, just pushing out videos. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there's Dawn.
We'll even be able to do our uploads from home now.
Yeah, for real. Dawn just got here. You want to
let
Dawn. Him know?
Yeah, so I mentioned it earlier, Dawn. I started on, I told you that I was going to make you a knife because you were so sad about missing out on the drawing.
Yeah, the knife.
Yeah, I just couldn't let it go. So I got started on your knife actually. It's probably been about a week ago, or no, it was 2 weeks ago because this weekend we had to move the Coop out of the shop. I don't know if you saw that. But
he saw me fall in my butt.
Yeah. But I got started on the knife a couple of weeks ago. I was using a brand new hammer on it.
Yeah.
And the hammerhead flew off and almost killed me right in the middle of a swing. So
you're so dramatic.
You don't know. You weren't out there. It could have killed me. But I have a new hammer that is a little heavier and it's perfect and I love it. And so I'm going to be able to work on it some more now that we don't have a Coop in the shop.
Yeah.
And I can spread out a little bit more and actually make my workspace more usable. Yeah. So you're correct. Hammers are not supposed to do that.
Now Jan is jealous. Maybe you'll have to make a couple of those.
Maybe.
He's thinking about making some to sell.
Yeah.
I'd love for him to get to that point where he can start selling some knives because he does really great work.
So the knife design that I made for our chicken butchering knife and that Shelly has that she won in our drawing. That shape, I really like that shape. I don't know why. It's kind of it's a very muted horizontal S, and it feels really good, and it just feels like a good design that's great for harvesting chickens. So I'm thinking about, because one of the things that Lynn Ray and I talked about while I was there, spending time with him, was getting in front of a grinder and just getting more experience in front of the grinder. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking about actually getting some of those stamped, that design stamped, and order 25 or 30 of them, and go ahead and finish off those knives with a handle, a good sharp edge, and sell those. So they'll probably go for, I'm thinking, if everything works out and I'm able to do that, and I'm thinking they'll probably go for around $220, somewhere along in there. And so hopefully that's not a prohibitive price. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. So when we do that, or when I do that, we'll be sure and let everyone know, just in case you're interested.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. But cool. All right. Well, Dawn, I know you popped in late, but we are getting ready to hop off here and get some dinner, and I'm probably going to crash early. I'm tired today.
Yep.
It's been a full week at work and spending the last few days trying to get caught up after being off for a month. It's taken its toll, so I'm kind of tired. Man, she is just talkative today. But I really appreciate you guys hopping in and hanging out with us for an hour. It's so good to see you guys here in the chat. It really is. And you guys will probably be seeing more of Matt around here
Sorry.
Beautiful beard.
Without glitter.
But anyway, yeah, you guys have a fantastic night, and we'll probably see you guys next week. So have a great night, guys. Adios.